Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into something I find absolutely fascinating, the evolution of the treasure hunt. For basically as long as humanity has been around, we've been completely obsessed with finding hidden things. But what's really incredible here is how the actual nature of that hunt has completely transformed over the centuries. We've gone from these perilous, exhausting journeys fraught with literal deadly curses, demons, and ominous warnings to something you can just print out and play in your living room on a lazy Sunday morning. It's a massive shift in human culture, and today, we're going to trace that entire incredible journey.
Okay, so to understand where we are now, we kind of have to look at where this all started. Picture this, it's the 10th century, and a treasure hunter from Cairo has been obsessively studying ancient books looking for hidden wealth. He and a group of fellow Egyptians pack up all their provisions and march out into the mountains and deserts for 3 agonizing days. Finally, they stumble across this massive castle made of snow-white stone with black streaks. But instead of a welcoming door, they find this inscription etched right into the walls of the ruins. It reads, "He who arrives at this place after me, let him marvel at my story and bewail my trials." It's basically the ancient graffiti of a guy who lost his way, lost his luck, and found absolutely nothing but hardship. It's a terrifying, haunting warning.
And honestly, it begs a pretty massive question, doesn't it? Even when faced with ominous, literal writing on the wall, why do they just keep going? Why are we humans so irresistibly drawn to seek and find hidden treasures? Well, there's this deep, psychological drive in us to solve mysteries, to crack codes, and to chase the absolute thrill of the hunt, even when the stakes are terrifyingly high. We just have to unlock what's closed off to the rest of the world.
So, here's our roadmap for the Explainer today. We're going to cover 1. The medieval treasure hunt, 2. The modern gamified quest, 3. Hunting for real history, 4. The at-home adventure, and lastly, why we love to seek. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The medieval treasure hunt and the legend of the Copper Guardian.
Let's go back to our Cairo treasure hunters, who, of course, completely ignored that depressing wall graffiti. They kept digging until they uncovered this massive gold lock on a gate. They picked it, the doors swung open, and they were instantly hit with this terrifying, buzzing uproar that they legitimately believed was the work of actual demons. Pushing through the ruins, and dodging deadly snakes, by the way, they entered a 15-meter domed room. In the exact center was a golden throne, over 7 feet tall, with a literal dead man sitting on it, just surrounded by gold. But guarding him was a copper figure. And this wasn't just some decorative statue. Its eyes rolled in its head. It held an unsheathed, perfect sword. If anyone so much as stepped foot on that floor, the Copper Guardian's arm would whirl, as fast as a watermill, striking right, left, forwards, backwards, just tearing to shreds anything that got close. They threw stones at it, they tried tricks, but this mechanical marvel of doom was totally impenetrable.
Defeated and frankly terrified of the night approaching, they finally had to flee. But right before they left, the narrator actually managed to read one final inscription located right on the chest of the Copper Guardian itself. It said, "Seek your daily bread from God, leave off the search for treasures, and be content." So the crucial takeaway here is that historically, the treasure hunt was really a cautionary tale. It was a narrative explicitly designed to warn people against greed, showing that chasing unearned wealth brings you nothing but despair, demons, and, well, deadly copper robots.
Moving on to Section 2, the modern gamified quest. Puzzles safely repackaged.
Society has obviously changed a lot since then, but we still have that exact same itch to seek, to solve, and to conquer the unknown. What we did was take the thrill, the mystery, and the puzzles, and we safely repackaged them into something entirely different. Just look at the sheer variety of commercial, gamified quests available at our fingertips today. You can literally go online right now and buy instant, printable DIY escape rooms and scavenger hunts for practically any occasion. We're talking spy parties for kids, corporate team building stuff, adult wine-tasting dinner mysteries, heck, even baby showers and gender reveals. We've taken the actual life-or-death stakes of a medieval castle and turned them into fun Sunday afternoon party games.
And we absolutely love it. These modern printable adventures boast massive commercial appeal. Just to put that into perspective, the average customer satisfaction ratings for these DIY escape rooms sits at an incredibly high 4.8 out of 5 stars. The danger is completely gone, but the satisfaction of unlocking a mystery, that remains totally intact. It's become this versatile, highly rated social activity that brings people together, rather than, tearing them apart like the Copper Guardian sword.
Section 3. Hunting for real history on the Dublin City Trail.
Now, what if we take that safe, modern puzzle format and bring it back out into the real world? Scavenger hunts aren't just for party games anymore. They're actually being used as powerful educational tools by cities to unlock their own pasts. Take the Hidden Histories Hunt in Dublin, which was put together by their historian-in-residence for children. The logistics are brilliant. You start at minute 0 at the Central Library in the ILAC Center. Over the next 90 minutes, families head out on a 3-kilometer self-guided walking route across the city center, following these blue clues and green directions, entirely for free. And by the 2-hour mark, you return right back to your starting point. It's basically a highly structured mini-tour masking itself as a grand adventure.
And the coolest part? Check out the incredible, hidden historical details that people are forced to actually stop and look at. By solving clues, kids might discover a stone dragon looking down from a building on Moore Street, a dragon that's rumored to have actually had its wings damaged during the 1916 Easter Rising. Or maybe a clue directs them to Grattan Bridge to examine the green lampposts, only to discover they're held up by hippocampi, which are these wild mythological creatures that are half fish and half horse. It literally trains your eye to see the magic in everyday architecture.
The whole hunt guides you through old Viking settlements, past a soap building with these comic strip walls, and right up to this beautiful fairy tale-looking doorway. And the clues help the hunters figure out that this was actually the very first public library in all of Ireland. They even learn these spooky local legends along the way, like the ghost of a dog who supposedly haunts a nearby cemetery, just waiting by his master's grave. It's an amazing way to connect generations to their heritage, proving that real treasure isn't shiny gold, it's history and its community.
Section 4. The At-Home Adventure and Living Room Legends.
But here's the thing, you don't even need a historic European city to go on a quest. This is where the concept of the hunt comes all the way home, focusing on thematic family activities that can literally turn a standard boring house into a mystical puzzle map. Look at the clever mechanics of an at-home scavenger hunt, like this one designed for Easter morning. Parents hide clue cards around the house while the kids are asleep. And the genius here is how these abstract historical or thematic clues match directly to everyday household items. Like, a clue might say, Judas betrayed Jesus for some coins in a pouch. Maybe you should go look under the couch. Or, the soldiers put a crown of thorns on Jesus' head. Now you need to go check under a bed. It totally transforms the mundane, like your couch, a bed, the kitchen, into these exciting waypoints on a grand narrative journey.
These thematic printables, which often include things like word searches about the empty tomb and coloring pages of the crucifixion, they use puzzles to really foster family connection. They teach cultural and religious stories in a way that is highly interactive and deeply engaging for a kid. The treasure at the end of all this might just be an Easter basket sitting by the front door, but the actual real value is the shared experience, the active learning, and just the pure joy of discovery.
And finally, Section 5, Why We Love to Seek, and the Evolution of the Hunt.
So we've traced this concept all the way from the treacherous deserts of 10th century Cairo through commercial party games, across the historic streets of Dublin, and right into our living rooms. And honestly, just look at this profound contrast. The 10th century Cairo inscription ominously warned, "Leave off the search for treasures and be content." It was a literal threat. But then look at the final message of the modern Dublin Hidden Histories Hunt. It reads, "There are many more hidden histories all around the city, so keep exploring." We have completely inverted the paradigm. What was once a dire warning against deadly greed has blossomed into this joyous invitation to lifelong learning and exploration. Because at the end of the day, the human drive to seek hasn't changed at all. What has changed is what we actually consider to be the treasure. It's no longer a pile of gold guarded by a terrifying copper robot. Today, the treasure is knowledge, it's history, and it's the time we spend solving problems with the people we love. So I'll leave you with this one thought. Will you heed the ancient warnings to leave off the search, or are you ready to design an epic hunt of your own? Keep exploring, everyone. See you next time.